Hi, and welcome back to Katie's Corner in Space and the continued torture of Droughtlander, which has now lasted 27 weeks. What can I say? It's been a long haul so far, but I'm having trouble feeling badly because of the channel's incredible first revenue-producing step of reaching 1,000 subscribers and counting. I cannot thank all of you enough for trying out a video, deciding it might be worth coming back for more, and ultimately subscribing, all while I'm still figuring out this whole record, edit, load to YouTube fad the kids are all into. And as I like to have a goal to reach, my next seemingly impossible goal is 10,000 subscribers. That means a few things I know seem to work will be sticking around, like these Droughtlander uploads, while I work on something similar for my Trekkie side. So just in case you happen to enjoy both, please be on the lookout for the Star Trek Void, my Star Trek counterpart to Droughtlander. I am catching a bit of a cold, so I do apologize if I sound a little funny, but we're gonna go on with this. And that's enough about me. I was already in such a good mood this week when so many of my research attempts just seemed to lead me back to our favorite Scotsman, both in real life and in his on-screen persona. Yes, of course, I'm starting with Sam, and I seem to be pretty much sticking with him this week because that man just cannot stop having success while sharing his life with us. Yes, once more, our own Sam Heughan has reached for and achieved an incredible goal with his newly released memoir, Waypoints. Right now, his book is in the top 10 on the New York Times bestseller list. No, wait, in the time I started this draft, he's now in the top 5. Brian A. Gowlett of Radar said, "It's a privilege to be working with Sam on his first solo project, a lead title for the Radar list. He is a hugely dedicated author who continues to grow in this space, and I feel especially excited to see his book connect with readers and show another side to Sam. Waypoints is a deeply personal journey that reveals as much to Sam about himself as it does to his readers." Unfortunately, at least when I last double-checked, a signed copy has all been impossible to find. However, Amazon currently has multiple formats and prints ready to ship, and there's always the Audible version, which of course is ready much faster and is narrated by Sam himself. I have mine waiting to be heard next week while my husband is away on a work trip, so I'll probably have a little something to say review-wise about it in next week's video. Sam is ever busy between filming Outlander, Suspect, Red Notice, and a new film coming with Celine Dion, It's All Coming Back to Me. Here he sports a very different look than our Jamie. I do get a kick out of seeing our stars as other characters. It's kind of like seeing your teacher while at the mall. So strange and eye-opening. One thing we're used to seeing, though, is his charitable side. Sam Heughan is among a group of Scotsman stars to donate an item for a silent auction that will help an inner-city primary school in Glasgow. His lot includes a signed copy of Waypoints and a bottle of Sassenach whiskey with a value of £100. But the bidding starts at £40 November 10th at 6 p.m. It's hard to see when or how he has the time for interviews to satiate our curiosity with all of his projects. But Sam always seems to, and this time on Love Scotland, a podcast hosted by former BBC anchor Jackie Bird. The link to the full interview is with the sources below, and it's a nice, if short, listen if you have 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's something that I never thought, though, that I would be as honest. The loss of my father, actually during the beginning of season 1 of shooting Outlander, was a big moment in my life. The beginning of the West Highland Way actually starts really close to my house, so it felt right. And actually, again, also Glencoe was featured in my life in Men in Kilts. It was the starting point for this mad road trip that I went on with my co-star Graham McTavish. I went to a local outdoor store, bought everything in the store, and set off the next day. And I think from that very first moment, I was really questioning, why am I doing this?
Oh, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the new release date for It's All Coming Back to Me. It's now set to come out on May 12th. A bit later than the originally considered time of Valentine's Day, thereabouts. The premise is pretty cute, and it's as follows. Myra Ray, I do apologize if it's Mira, dealing with the loss of her fiancé, sends a series of romantic texts to his old cell phone number, not realizing the number was reassigned to Rob Burns' new work phone. A journalist, Rob is captivated by the honesty in the beautifully confessional texts. when he's assigned to write a profile of megastar Celine Dion, who will be playing herself. He enlists her to help in figuring out how to meet Myra in person and win her heart. Oh, and this is Celine's first ever film role, so if you're a fan of hers as well, this is definitely going to be the film for you because she's created some new songs for the movie as well. Now the question is, what will arrive first on screen, Outlander or It's All Coming Back to Me? While it's pretty clear by now, once it airs, Outlander will not be split into 2 parts, which does mean a longer wait for us. We will, in all likelihood, get 16 episodes all in a row. Though Starz does tend to have an intermission week where we get no new episode for, that 1 week. But we'll cross that road when we get to it. For now, it's the start we're waiting for. Until then, though, Diana has given us a real treat with the sharing of an excerpt from Book 10 for all to enjoy. And yes, of course, you will find that link below in the sources, and I can confirm, at least with my copy, it's a different excerpt than the one included in the Season 6 Special Edition disc set. I realize this week's video may be a bit shorter than the last few. In all honesty, in the beginning, I'd been trying to keep them between 5 and 7 minutes long, but that seems to have flown out the window because I just want to tell you everything. However, for my sanity, I will be attempting to cut the length back to something more reasonable so that I may, 1, keep bringing you interesting information and not end up repeating myself, and 2, have the time needed to keep creating new videos, especially if I'm going to tackle 2 very different universes with the same quality of content as I learn more. That said, I did find this great clip from 2018 and I just had to add it.
My first acting role was in a youth theatre. I was about 7 years old and we were doing a production of Oliver. And as I was the tallest kid, I played Mr. Bumble.
My teacher wrote a really insane play where I had to play a fairy godmother. It was an all-boys school. Someone had to take the role.
I played Bill Sykes in a production of Oliver at school.
My first acting role was in another absolutely awesome fandom, Doctor Who, where I got to play a little small role.
I did a musical of Oliver when I was like 10 at the Palace Theatre.
I did the Nativity and I played an angel, but also Jesus.
I cannot top that. I was just like a play at school when I was young and bad.
My first acting role was in a BBC comedy show called Legit. My first acting role, it was kind of like a murder mystery and I played a psychopathic teenager. And as you can see, I've progressed along those lines quite nicely.
And there you have it. Week 27 survived, and new zest hopefully to endure week 28, at the end of which will be another installment. But if you just can't wait, always feel free to check out the playlist. You never know what you may have missed, and I'll see you there.